So welcome. I'm gonna do a very quick chat about mental health and video games, and how the two are kind of go side and side sometimes. This will be based on my own experience, and I must say, of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm a coder by day. So yeah, as I said, just quick disclaimer: I'm not a professional in this. This is just first-hand basis here. Feel free if you do take, if you just need a wee bit of a break from this, that's fine. I won't take any offense from it. This is just kind of very light mentioning of my own experience with depression and anxiety. And a very quick throwback to what we were at last year was actually in a room with people doing micro talks. And I think that this talk needs to be done now because obviously lockdown is having an effect on all of us. And I think we need to have this positive discussion around mental health, which is something that I wish to promote. And also, it's not just me that personally suffers from anxiety and depression, but it does seem to be a wider case across the games industry. I don't think that's any surprise to anyone. We're in a very high pressure environment sometimes. And if you're not familiar with how depression and anxiety can look, this is how it can look for me. It's very much a lack of motivation, general unwilling or unable to do basic things like eat, sometimes sleep as well. Kind of have racing thoughts. Also try to predict the future, like how I'm going to manage to do this talk in 7 minutes and every single outcome. So I'm hoping that obviously it's going to go fine. And to lighten the mood a little bit, we should hopefully have some lovely gifts as well, which will kind of promote what I can sometimes feel like, the basic challenge of trying to get through life, meanwhile everyone else is doing fine, and trying to be the hamster on the outside of that wheel rather than the one on the inside. And I think we all know, obviously, with the media and mental health, that can sometimes become a bit of a criticism for video games. We've got games like Call of Duty that are normally the first to be blamed for the unfortunate shootings that can happen. And I think this can sometimes lead to just maybe perhaps too many hours being spent on video games. But this was back in 2018, and as recently as last year, we've got some reports saying that, hey, video games can actually be good for your mental health. So I do think this comes down to a balance of not doing too much, not playing too many hours of video games. Much like anything else, if you're going to go running for 6 hours of the day, that's really not good for you. So, and I think this is just all part of a healthy and balanced lifestyle. And so, I think we all know what the doctors are saying: drink enough water, have enough walks, eat the right food, and not have pizza at 2 a.m. And again, I think that mental health can be seen as part of this balance. So I'm just going to quickly discuss the games that have kind of been helping me recently with my own mental health. So first of all, to no surprise to anyone that knows me, Assassin's Creed. Obviously, we can open this up to more open world games, but I don't know. I just really get a nice vibe when I'm just, you've got that aimless wandering, and I also get a bit of sense of purpose as well through the narrative of the story of the game. Also, really fun stabbing people in the back. So, weirdly enough, survival games I've really been playing a lot because lockdown's not hard enough, but apparently going around on a raft and trying to navigate a very snowy Canada is very calming to me. And it is just a good reminder for me to take things slow and steady until the wildlife comes out of nowhere and attacks you. The Sims has been a massive, massive game for me throughout my whole life, really, since discovering it. And it does remind me to be like, hey, you actually need to take care of your basic needs as well. Like I mentioned earlier, I can sometimes kind of forget and be unable to do that. Stuff like making sure that you're eating right and socializing with friends is really good. Stardew Valley, again, a massive game. I really like the fact this has got no fail states to a degree. Obviously, if you mess up and maybe don't deliver that turnip on time, it's okay. People are not going to, come at you with pitchforks. And it's something I keep coming back to. Much like the game Animal Crossing that I got very addicted to last year because it came out right on the sort of cusp of lockdown. And Tom Nook has stole both my in-game money, my time, and my heart as well. Another thing that has also done all three of that things plus more is Formula One, both in real life and obviously the game. And I think it's interesting when I look at Formula One and what I get out from it, because I can get into that flow state that is so well kind of discussed around video games, which can help kind of be a good distraction for me. But I think at times it can also be a hindrance because I can get frustrated if things are not going well I can also kind of, have this cases where I do crashes and that. And so sometimes I do need to step back and be like, oh, okay, we're not feeling this today. It's not helping me. Let's try something else. And finally, just as a kind of wrapping up point for video games, obviously playing with friends online has been super important for me, especially during lockdown and we're not able to go face to face and sit on someone's couch to play it. Currently, we're going through Terraria because it was a game that we all had, probably from many Steam sales. And I would also recommend checking out Left 4 Dead 2. The Christmas mods have been hilarious and were really vital for me when it was Christmas last year and I was just not having a great time. So, yeah, this is kind of a wrap up on what I get out from video games. They kind of provide that distraction. Different games for different moods. And as I said, balance is key. Sometimes playing games isn't what is needed. So I would just like to remind everyone that obviously mental health is important. It should be right up there with your own physical health. Games can be done and can be played as part of a balanced coping strategy. And I would just like to invite everyone to kind of maybe consider the games that you play and what you get out from them. Maybe are you leaning towards games that you play when you're in a bit of a bad mood? So my final slide is just dedicated to resources. As I mentioned, I'm by no means a doctor. This is just on personal experience. If you do need help, please reach out. And we also have our own mental health channel here, which you can come say hi in. So that should be it.
Amazing. That was really good.